Did you know that bears can spend up to 7 months without eating, drinking, or even waking up? And yet, in spring, they emerge from their dens in great shape, ready to face a new year. Bear hibernation is a fascinating phenomenon that has intrigued scientists for decades. How do they manage to survive for so long without any activity? And why did they adopt this survival strategy? Stay with me to discover the secrets hidden behind bear hibernation and understand why these majestic creatures enter such a deep sleep every year. Before diving into the world of bears, it's important to understand what hibernation is. Hibernation is a state of prolonged dormancy that allows certain animals to survive the harsh conditions of winter. During this period, the animal's metabolism slows down considerably, reducing its energy consumption to a minimum. But hibernation is much more complex than just a long sleep. In bears, hibernation involves a series of remarkable physiological changes. Their body temperature drops slightly, their heart rate decreases drastically, and they stop eating, drinking, and even urinating or defecating. It's a delicate balance between saving energy and maintaining vital functions. This adaptation allows them to survive for months in conditions where food is scarce or inaccessible. So, why do bears hibernate? The answer lies mainly in the availability of food resources. In winter, food becomes scarce, plants stop growing, and animal prey becomes difficult to find. To survive this period of scarcity, bears have developed hibernation as a coping strategy. By reducing their metabolism and living off their fat reserves accumulated during the summer and fall, bears can get through the winter without needing to search for food. It's an effective solution for saving energy when resources are limited. In addition, hibernation protects them from extreme weather conditions like intense cold and snowstorms. Preparing for hibernation is a crucial phase for bears. During the months leading up to winter, they enter a phase called hyperphagia, where they eat large amounts of food to build up fat reserves. A bear can eat up to 20,000 calories a day during this period. They feed on berries, fruit, fish, small mammals, and anything that can provide them with the necessary energy. This accumulation of fat is not only a source of energy, but it also plays a role in thermal insulation and maintaining bodily functions during hibernation. Bears also carefully choose their den, looking for a safe and sheltered place to spend the winter months. They can dig caves in the snow or earth, or find refuge in natural cavities, like caves or hollow tree trunks. During hibernation, the bear's body undergoes amazing transformations. Their heart rate can drop from 40 to only 8 beats per minute. Their breathing also slows down, and they can spend several minutes between each breath. Their body temperature decreases slightly, from 38 degrees Celsius to about 33 degrees, but remains high enough to prevent freezing and allow for rapid awakening if necessary. In addition, bears do not eat or drink during hibernation, and they do not produce bodily waste. Their body recycles metabolic waste, converting byproducts such as urea into useful proteins. This process, called neoglucogenesis, allows them to maintain their muscle mass and organ function despite the lack of food and water. It's a unique mechanism that still intrigues scientists and could have implications for human medicine. A particularly interesting aspect is the hibernation of pregnant females. They enter hibernation while pregnant and give birth during this period. The cubs are born very small and vulnerable, weighing barely 300 to 400 grams and are blind and hairless. But the warmth of the den and their mother's milk help them survive. The mother remains in hibernation while caring for her cubs, who grow rapidly thanks to her milk, which is rich in nutrients and fat. She doesn't eat or drink, but her body is able to provide everything the cubs need. In the spring, when they emerge from the den, the cubs have reached several kilograms and are already strong enough to follow their mother and learn to survive in the wild. Unlike other hibernating animals, like groundhogs or bats, bears do not lower their body temperature as much. This slight drop allows bears to react quickly in case of danger. They can wake up more easily if their den is threatened by predators, avalanches, or other disturbances. Also, bears can sometimes be active during the winter if conditions are favorable. It's not uncommon to see a bear emerge from its den to look for food if the weather is mild or if a food source is available. This flexibility gives them an advantage over other hibernators that are completely inactive throughout the cold season. Understanding hibernation is essential for bear conservation. Climate change and habitat loss can disrupt their hibernation cycle. Shorter or less severe winters can affect food availability and the ability of bears to accumulate enough fat. In addition, human activity can disturb bears during their hibernation, which can have negative consequences for their health and survival. Scientists are studying how these changes influence hibernation and are looking for ways to protect the habitats essential for the survival of bears. The preservation of wilderness areas, sustainable forest management, and reducing human impact are crucial to allow bears to continue their natural cycle. Conservation programs also include educating the public about the importance of respecting bear habitats and minimizing disturbances. The physiological mechanisms of bear hibernation are also of interest to the medical field. Researchers are studying how bears manage to maintain their muscle mass and the health of their organs despite prolonged inactivity. This could have implications for the treatment of muscle atrophy in humans, for example, in bedridden patients or astronauts in microgravity. In addition, the ability of bears to recycle metabolic waste without damaging their kidneys could lead to new approaches for treating kidney diseases. Understanding their unique metabolism could pave the way for significant medical advances, improving human health through lessons learned from these fascinating creatures. Did you know that bears don't dream during hibernation? Being in a state of deep sleep, their brain activity is reduced to a minimum. Also, despite their inactivity, they lose almost no muscle mass or bone density. Their body is able to maintain muscle mass through protein recycling, a process still under study. Another interesting fact is that polar bears don't hibernate like other bears. Only pregnant females enter a state of dormancy, while males and other females remain active all winter, searching for food on the pack ice. Polar bears are adapted to the extreme conditions of the Arctic and depend on seal hunting for their survival, even during the coldest months. In addition, some bears can travel long distances before finding the ideal place to hibernate. They use their memory and knowledge of the terrain to return to dens they have used in previous years. This shows how attached they are to their habitat and how important it is to preserve these areas for their survival. Bear hibernation has also inspired many legends and myths across cultures. In some Native American traditions, the bear is seen as a symbol of rebirth and healing because of its ability to be reborn each spring after a long period of sleep. Bears are often associated with strength, courage, and wisdom. In Europe, the ancient Celts considered the bear a sacred animal, linked to the cycles of nature and the seasons. Hibernation was interpreted as a spiritual journey, a retreat to recharge and return stronger. These stories show the profound impact that bear hibernation has had on the human imagination and our connection with the natural world. In summary, bear hibernation is an extraordinary adaptation that allows them to survive in hostile environments. It's a testament to the resilience and ingenuity of nature. By slowing down their metabolism and living off their reserves, bears get through the toughest months of the year, while accomplishing physiological feats that defy our understanding. The next time you think about bears in winter, imagine them comfortably settled in their dens, overcoming nature's challenges thanks to this fascinating mechanism. Their hibernation is not only a fascinating subject of study, but also a reminder of the importance of protecting our environment to preserve these incredible creatures. So, what did you think of this dive into the secret world of bear hibernation? Did you discover anything new? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to discover other wonders of the world around us.